You know what I did do this week? I saw some tennis. Does that help you out at all there, sports fans? I went to the Australian Open. I saw some tennis. I saw Maria Sharapova in the semis. And I saw Serena Williams both win in the semis to play each other in the finals. And if you've never been to a tennis match, this is so fucking funny to be doing this the day after a Super Bowl. I might as well be baking a pie right now. If you've never been to a fucking tennis match, you know, just the level of wealth that is there. Like, you know what, first of all, the tickets weren't that hard to get. Like, I just scalped a pair of them. You know, I'm not going to lie, they were like $300 a whack, but I'm like, fuck it, man. You know, it's one of the majors. I'll fucking, bring it up on the card. I'll deal with it later, right? Fuck it. And when you go there, like, the level of fucking wealth that's sitting around there, and they smell it on you. When you show up, the second they see the fact that you're not wearing loafers with no socks on, they just look at you like you're a fucking animal. You know? You watch them getting all boozed up and shit. And I always get excited when I sit around those people. I just want to ask them, shit like, when's the dollar going to collapse? Like, what's the inside information that you fucking know? You know those people that, they sit there, right? They have tickets for the whole day. We just had for the afternoon, right? And they're sitting there, and they wear, like, the sweaters, where you're not wearing it. You just have it draped over your shoulder. You don't have it tied around your neck. You just have it draped over. I think that's the new way to do it. And they're not doing it, like, ironically. Like, they have a sweater for when it gets cold later when they're watching the tennis. But anyways, we sat close enough and got to watch Serena right before she won the 19th championship. So I got to do that. I went to Bon Scott's grave when I was out in Perth, and it was really cool. They had a little bench there because I guess Bon's mother, for as far as I know, is still alive. She's well into her 90s, and up until recently would go down and visit the grave almost every day, which of course is really sad. But they raised some money and they made like a little bench for her and everything. And it's if you ever get a chance to go to Australia, man, Perth. First of all, Perth is the shit. I talked to some woman when I was here in the States, and she tried to tell me, she was from Australia, and she was shitting all over it, saying it like it was, that it was fucking horrific or whatever. It's quite the opposite, man. Very impressive city. Seems like the kind of place where you'd vacation or something, man. Beautiful beaches. That was another thing cool too. Is we went down to the beach one day, and quit laughing. Fuck you. I know I'm pasty, but I had to do it. And just to see the Indian Ocean. Never seen that. And my wife, of course, went in the ocean because she fucking loves the ocean. And I sort of frolicked along the fucking beach. I just do not go. I went into the water just to say I've been in the fucking Indian Ocean, but I do not fuck with. I just don't fuck with the ocean on any level. And but if I was gonna fuck with it, I would go all in. Like, I would get certified to scuba dive, and the next time I come here, I would go to the Great Barrier Reef, and I would do that before I would fucking just start, I don't know, swimming along the fucking coast. I guess that the sharks come out in the morning. They're basically out when the seals are out. So you don't want to be out when the seals are out. I guess it's early morning and dusk or something. And they were telling me some fucking story where there was a helicopter following an 18-foot tiger shark, just keeping an eye on it to make sure it didn't go into the beach area. I mean, give me a fucking break. I'm not going in that goddamn water. You know what's funny about the Australians down here, too? When they talk about somebody getting attacked by a shark, they don't say you got attacked. They say you got taken. And I was like, yeah, there was a bloke got taken. I don't say bloke. I can't remember what the fuck they said. It would be like some dude got taken about 20 miles up. They told this story. I don't even know if this is true, if they're just trying to scare a tourist. But they were saying this fucking guy was surfing. And he was, not waiting for a wave. He was in the wave, riding the wave, I should say, and the fucking shark jumped out of the water and grabbed him. Like some Sharknado shit. Like, I mean, it jumped out of the fucking water. I thought you had to have, like, your arms hanging off the board and then from underneath you look like a seal. Sort of a strange shaped seal or whatever. But like, if you're fucking on the board at that point, if they're jumping out of the water, I don't know. Like I'm saying, I don't fuck with the water. But I really had a great time in Perth. My favorite beer out here is that Little Creatures, and turns out they had a brewery, and I was able to go to the brewery. I could have taken the tour, but I don't understand taking a tour of a fucking brewery, looking at the distillery process. All I look at is like the entire time I'm taking this tour, I could be drinking your product fresh out of your fucking big silver, whatever the fuck you call those things. So I boozed it up there. Went over to Bon Scott's grave, like I mentioned, and it's funny when you get there, like people leave it's kind of weird. People leave like all these, bottles of booze there. It's like the guy kind of died from that. I mean, somebody overdoses on heroin? Do you leave like fucking used needles there? It's really weird. But I kind of felt bad when I showed up. There was an empty Miller Genuine Draft bottle next to Bon Scott's grave, and the AC/DC, not only the AC/DC fan in me, the beer lover in me wanted to take it away from the grave, but there was just something about removing something from that place just seemed a little sacrilegious, so I refrained from doing that. But if you ever get to Perth, they have this own little entrance, little gateway, and you come walk, it says Bon Scott entry or something like that. I'll have all the pictures up on the podcast. I did retweet some of this shit, but you walk in, very easy headstone to find, and if you look down on the ground, they have like a lightning bolt, like the AC/DC lightning bolt in the pavement, and then above it is looks like a record, and then they had something else, I forget what it was, which is really cool. So it just sort of guides you right to it, and then if you go over down onto the water where they have the Little Creatures makes their beer and shit, a little bit further up from that, they have a statue of Bon Scott, which I think used to be in the graveyard, but they moved it because I guess back in the day he was a deckhand, or a decky, as they call it down here in Australia. So they put him down there on the water, and I don't know, it was really cool. And where did I go from there? Then I went to Melbourne. I got there, and that was that's when I saw the Australian Open. Did a couple shows that night, and evidently some comics came out to see me throughout this tour. I'm glad I didn't know they were in the crowd. That would have made me fucking nervous. And I've basically been putting together my new hour out here, watching this thing come together, getting my fucking stand-up chops back together again. It's been just been a great tour. I really want to thank everybody who came out in, throughout my time here in Australia. This has been fucking incredible to come out here and play these big venues and be adding shows and stuff. And then I did Brisbane, and had a fucking, had one of my best shows I had in Brisbane, and I got pictures of all this shit. Sorry, guys, I'm a little fucking jet lagged. I know this shit isn't funny. I'm just kind of going through my fucking tour here. I played City Hall there. It was one of the best looking theaters I ever played. Literally, you could shoot a fucking special there. It was phenomenal.